Hi everyone, my name is Anita Griesbeck. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm here to share success stories of women from all around the globe to inspire and to encourage millions of women to write their own success story. I'm really happy today because my guest is an internationally up and coming actress. Her name is Alma Rix. Hello and welcome, Alma. Great to see
Hi, nice to see you.
you. How
Good
are
to
you
be
today?
here.
Yes, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a
Great.
beautiful day outside.
True here as well. Autumn, golden autumn days.
It's a beautiful time, all the colors. The
Hmm.
life is winding a little bit down, and you get calmer. You don't have to rush anymore.
Yes, true. I love it. All these colors. So I have briefly introduced you. You are actress. You have played in quite a few, or quite a lot, movies, theater plays, ads. Um, um, but I'd love to hand over to you to also get the chance to tell a bit about your background, about what you're actually doing, what kind of acting.
So, yes, I've had the opportunity to have quite a varied acting career. I've participated in film projects, in TV projects, and there is a film that's about to come out in October, which is sort of like a horror romance. It's called The Piper. It's going to be something connected with the legend of the Piper of Hamelin. And yes, so that's quite interesting for me. It was quite exciting to do. It was filmed during the pandemic, so really excited for this to be coming out. And over a period of time, I've also had an amazing experience doing voiceovers, doing some theatre work, being able to work in different countries. I'm based in United Kingdom in London, but I was born in Latvia. That's where I'm originally from. And again, over the pandemic, I had the opportunity to work on international projects in Latvia, which is great to bring that all together. The world is small these days. We can get anywhere we want to, and we can and it's big in the sense that we can work with whoever we want to, and there's so many opportunities.
So true. Sounds exciting. How was it for you? You mentioned you've been part of a couple of, or one big movie during the pandemic. Was it a challenge to do these movies, or um,
I think I was at the right place at the right time, I would say, because Latvia is a smaller country, so the restrictions, they were in place, but because there were not so many people around there, the shooting crews were smaller, so it was easier to manage all the restrictions. So some projects kept rolling, whereas in bigger countries like the United Kingdom and on bigger projects, sometimes things had to grind to a halt because of the pandemic. So yes, I think Latvia as such managed the situation really well without completely stopping the projects going. And it's great to see that also international projects, by choosing the country where, or by happening to choose it, probably it was more potluck than anything else. So they kind of thought they were in the position to carry on with their projects. And yeah, so I think it's great that some parts of the world still managed and to really get their projects going. So all creativity did not stop because of the pandemic.
mhm, fabulous? What I like. I checked out your website, acting website, and there you have different projects, movies, theater plays, series. So you've played in over 26 different formats, and then you all have these voiceovers and ads. So those I haven't even calculated. So you have a really rich experience. Can you recall one acting job which was really crazy, funny, inspiring that you would like to share with me?
Let me think. I would I would have to go back to the beginnings of something, because it always seemed to me like a funny little story, a learning curve in a way. When I did my first voiceover job, I was in the studio with a lot of other experienced actors, and I was given this monologue which I had to perform, and I gave my 100% to it, and I went in with all my theatre actors tools and did everything as much and as big as I could. And then at the end of the monologue, there was a lovely senior English lady, an actress, and she just tapped me on the shoulder and she just said, "The microphone's on the other side, darling." So it was so humbling. I had just done this amazing performance without even thinking about the constraints of the studio and where the equipment was, and I was facing completely the wrong way. So everything, of course, had to be redone just because of such a technical little thing. And it was an amazing, funny learning curve for me.
How cute. I guess it never happened again.
Attention to your surroundings. It's not just when you go traveling in a foreign city, you enter a studio, you have to do the same.
Great, that's really cute. And in all those movies and acting jobs, was there something really extraordinary, crazy, funny that you had to do or learn beforehand for the job? You know, like change your appearance or learn something completely new?
I haven't yet had to change my appearance drastically, but there have been a couple of times, for instance, when I was doing the theatre performance of As You Like It, William Shakespeare, I had to learn jitterbug, which is a social dance of the 1950s, because the whole play was set in that time period and around wartime, so 1940s, 1950s, and that was something that we all the cast had to learn, because part of the social scenes were really involved the dance, and it was quite fun. It's an easy dance to do. I have by now forgotten it, but there are some bits that keep coming back, and it was fun. It's really nice when you learn these fun things. I think it's part of why I really wanted to be an actor in the first place. The fact that I thought I would be able to do so many interesting things and learn so many interesting things and give them my time, study them even for a little while, which otherwise perhaps in my life I wouldn't even have time or the inclination or even the idea to pick up. So that's one of the things. And another one I'm still waiting to happen, that would be, there are a lot of productions where you are required to drive, and on my CV it boldly states that I do have a driving license, which I do. However, I have never once used it since the week after my driving tests. So asking me to drive would be something that I would have to say, I'll give it a go. Can I have a week for training for just a recap? Especially since I certainly haven't driven on the left side of the road living in the
Yes, yes.
UK.
And you
So
don't need a
that
car
would be
in
an
London,
entirely
right?
new thing.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for this to happen one day.
It's so easy to get everywhere by public transport in London, right? So you don't need the car.
Oh, it is, and I've always felt that. I mean, I've got my bike, and I'm a happy hiker and walker, so I've never quite felt that I needed to really own a car.
Mhm.
So maybe one day.
Thanks for sharing. So you already responded to the question I was about to ask. Where does your passion come from? Why do you love to act? So you said you love to get these new experiences and learn new things. I love that as well. Lifelong learning. It's amazing. And wait, I have to think. What was the question I wanted to ask? do you have other reasons why you love acting? I mean, some time ago you said it's a really competitive industry, and you constantly have to fight for your place under the sun. What drives
That's
you?
true. Yeah, that's true. I think it's also as you progress in your career and as you progress as a human being and as your life goes on, some of us don't get ahead where we would like to get ahead to as quick as we would want to. And sometimes you have doubts, and sometimes you see your friends and acquaintances who are in the same profession who just step back or who switch careers. And you do have this question, and I have had this question in my mind, am I going to be the next one who does that? So these are the times when I evaluate and I go back, and it really does come back to just that one idea. Can I imagine myself doing something else?
Mhm.
And so far the answer has been no, I still want to do this. So there might not be so many projects around. The industry might be very, very competitive, and you never know what it is that the actual it's almost like what their social surroundings want of you. What is the trend? And if you don't fit the trend, then of course you kind of a little bit sidelined. But if you love doing it, whatever the project, you just keep going. I mean, it wasn't like, a lot of people ask me, so did you want to be an actor from a very young age? And the answer is actually no, I didn't, because I had a childhood where I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a happy child, and I wasn't pressurized into thinking about my future. So I was able to enjoy my childhood. Yes, perhaps that means I didn't get an idea and I didn't start working towards my goals early enough, which a lot of actors do and which a lot of performers do. So you know they've started early in their childhood, and you can see that work paying off earlier because they have been little adults from a young age. Now, I was allowed to be a little child, and I wasn't competitive as a child. I was just enjoying exploring different things, and perhaps I didn't think of acting straight away. I think it happened more around high school time with my first school theatre play. So that's when it hit, oh, this is what I would like to carry on with and do my further education in. And then once I started doing it, again, perhaps for me, it wasn't more like, I know how to do this and I want to do this, and I'm just going to go and attend all the workshops and contact casting directors. For a long time, I didn't really know how to go on about this. I had this idea, this is what I want to be, but I had no idea how to get there. And so a lot of time I was just maybe a bit daydreaming, a bit not doing things right, perhaps. But at the same time, it allowed me to enjoy life, I think. So gradually, these ideas crystallized, and I sort of started understanding how I should steer myself in the direction of the projects I wanted to do. And it sort of, went step by step from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Thanks for sharing. I remembered my question I wanted to ask. So you told about this British dance that you had the chance to learn for one of the movies, and that you would love to be able to use your driver's license one day. Are there any other things that you would love to be able to do or learn for a movie one day?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I'd really like to do is if I could use my dance experience more, because when I first started acting, I also got really distracted by contemporary dance. So I studied both dance and acting. And there was a time when I really switched to wanting to make a career in dance. However, I started at a very late age. There was no way I could just do all the flexibility requirements and the high kicks that somebody who has started at a young age can do. But it was an invaluable experience in terms of, learning about movement. And it's still something in terms of choreography I like to do. So if there is a project that involves physical theatre or dance, and it doesn't matter whether it's for the camera or whether it's a live performance, it always draws my attention because I do like the physicality of it. This is kind of also, people usually ask, so what do you like? Do you like to do screen work more, or do you prefer theatre? And the answer is they are completely different mediums. You can do different things. You can concentrate on different sort of tricks of the craft, and you can really go with the flow and play with the audience in a live theatre performance. Whereas while you film something, you have to be so technically precise, and it's these different qualities that also attract me to the whole art and craft of acting, because you get to do different things. And I would absolutely love to combine traveling with acting. There are some actors who are amazingly fortunate in having the chance to work on projects which film all over the world. Like if, for example, you take a massive project like Dune, and you go to Jordan, and then you go somewhere else because you're trying to create a completely different world. The same for big productions like Game of Thrones. Maybe you get to go to Iceland because you need the snow, and it's amazing. I would love to do that because traveling is another one of my passions. So doing that really, really appeals to me. I sometimes even think, oh, well, if I can do something like presenting like David Attenborough does, and he's traveled all over the world doing nature documentaries, that would be amazing too, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. That sounds really exciting. Is there an actor or even several actors that you would love to play together with?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have my really favorite actors. I think by now they would probably be a generation older than me, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, I would love to do a movie with maybe Tilda Swinton, or who else? Maybe Kate Blanchett, or I'm afraid it's too late for Daniel Day-Lewis because he's decided that he's quit acting. So there would certainly be people, if I noticed that, and if I was told that, oh, you are going to be acting alongside this wonderful person, I would go like, wow, I really want to make an extra effort and also pay attention because I want to learn from them and enjoy the experience even more than I normally would.
Yes, I can imagine. What I found exciting as well, when we got to know each other in London over 10 years ago, I knew you as Ulrika Belogriva, I think.
Ulrika Belogriva, yes.
Belogriva, yes. And some time ago, you changed, at least as an actress, to Alma Rix. What is the reason behind it?
So this was something that was floating around in my mind for a long time. When I first started out as an actor, I thought, I'm going to take a fancy name, and then I had all these fancy ideas, and I'm really glad I did not act on them at that age, because the names I picked, they were amazing, but they were way too outlandish. It was something like you would pick a character from a book and then try to live it. And I think I'm glad I didn't do it, because it would be more flashy rather than authentic. And later on, though, as we have mentioned, both of us, the industry is quite competitive, but the industry I work in is also, it's very busy, and it can be, the industry likes to put you in a kind of box. So if you're from a certain place, then just by reading your name or just by looking at your face, people place you in a certain bracket. So for me, being born in Latvia with a relatively Eastern European last name and quite a German or Swedish first name, so that would be where I would be slotted in this kind of bracket. Either I would be seen for German roles, and then people would be extremely surprised that I don't speak German whatsoever, or I would be seen for Eastern European roles, and then sometimes people would be extremely pleased with what I could offer, and at other times they would say, yes, but we saw 10 other Eastern European girls and they neither look nor sound like you, so we're going to stick with the ones, like with the majority, with the safe bet. So at some point I decided, if I want to be considered for some wider kind of bracket of projects, I should really pick something, that a name that doesn't have such a region specific connection, maybe. And so I chose name Alma, as it means the soul, so it kind of felt the right name. And Rix it's last name which is both English and American, but at the same time it is an abbreviation for Riga International Airport, and considering that I was born in Riga, it kind of made me feel like I still have a connection to the place where I was born. So yes, and I chose this name, and it really felt like the right time and the right junction in my career to do it. And I've been happy about the decision. So it's still work in progress, but I do feel that people are more open to me being where I am from, but they don't really have any expectations. They're more open to just seeing me as I am and seeing what I have to offer.
Sounds amazing. I love Alma Rix. Yeah, just a great name.
And it's short and sweet. It's short and sweet. So it's not a long first name and long last name. No double-barreled names. Very short and sweet, easy to remember.
True. Great acting name. And I like the relation to Latvia as well, your origins. And yes, it's fact. First impressions count, right? Also the name, Alma Rix. Yeah, it opens doors.
So it does.
So when we think about the future, do you have future projects, plans, a vision, something that you're working on right now, or something that you would love to achieve one day?
I'm auditioning at the moment, so there are some wonderful castings that I'm involved in at the moment, and projects that I read for, and some fingers crossed results I'm waiting for. But also I have been writing my own screenplay. So hopefully that will come to fruition at some point. It's something I'm also very passionate about, and it's a long process. I might have just about finished some of the drafts, but then, getting it from the point of me as a writer, having done the writing work, and then just trying to find the people to work with and to really bring this project to life. So that's another part of the project. So it's work in development. Yes.
I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing more of you.
It's an interesting project. I think it's one of my passions, again, in terms of what kind of material I like to work with. So the screenplay is more like magical realism, a little bit fantasy, a little bit of kind of sort of like a dark fantasy drama type of thing. And yes, so I'm hoping to one day realize it.
Fantastic. So what is your personal secret to success?
My personal secret. Oh, I don't think it's a secret really. And I do feel that people seem to think of success as of a result. And a lot of time it's a bit limiting. So I started out thinking the same way, and because the result wasn't so forthcoming as I might have wanted, I got a bit frustrated. So I kind of put aside this whole idea of success as such, but I thought, well, perhaps what I'd like success to be is happiness in the process, because while I'm doing a project, that is the most exciting part. That is where I grow, where I learn, what keeps me going, and what gives me this sense of joy. Once it's finished, then you kind of almost feel that you release part of that joy as well. And it's a stage in the process. I mean, from inception into development, into the release of it. And success is, to me, I think it's now the whole process, and then just, after the release, then you kind of, it's again, and the next stage would be looking for another project, and that's again part of the process. So it's an ongoing thing, and as long as you do it happily, as long as you can find joy in each of those stages and each of those challenges, that happiness to me kind of constitutes the success.
Awesome. Thank you. So my last question, which inspiring woman would you love to see in an interview with me one day?
Well, because I'm so fond of travel, and I'm actually very fond of female solo travel. I've done some trips myself with a friend and just on my own. I think it would be amazing if you could invite a solo female traveler, somebody like, there's a Polish lady, a YouTuber, Eva Zubek, somebody like her, or maybe Angela Maxwell, who has walked around the world, just with a little trolley with her tent and everything. So, and it's these women inspire me because some of their journeys have not again been full of 100% success as we would term success in general terms. There have been challenges, there have been some unpleasant experiences along the way, but each of them has pushed on with her desire to just, and her joy of just fulfilling a dream. And I really, yeah, that's what really interests me, and also because of the traveling and just seeing the world, learning about it and experiencing it.
I'm really passionate about traveling and new experiences as well. So these women sound inspiring. I will definitely Google them. Alma, thank you so much. I really enjoyed your stories. Thank you for sharing your story and your passion with us.
It was lovely to be here with you today, Anita. Thank you.
And to you out there, thank you for watching. I hope this interview inspired you to follow your dreams and passions, keep going and growing. And see you very soon. Bye.